So I've got some ears that I've cut out of a couple of offcuts from underneath the neck. They're just rough cut off the bandsaw at the moment. So what I need to do is plane both sides of all of these so that I've got some nice gluing surfaces. So I've redrawn all my lines across here to mark out where the nut's going, and I've also done an outline of the headstock shape so I know where these ears have got to go. I also need to make sure I've got a good gluing surface along here. I don't know if you can see there's some ridges along here. I mean, the whole surface is fairly smooth, but it's not good enough for a gluing surface. So I need to plane these, both sides, plane my ears down, and then I can glue these up. Now this may seem like overkill, in fact it probably is, but if you look at the grain pattern, it goes along, and where the headstock's cut, that goes down at a 13-degree angle. So what I want to do is glue my ears so that they are, if I can get this on camera, parallel with the neck, not parallel with the headstock. If they're parallel with the headstock like this, I don't know if you can see these, my pencil, there you go, these grey lines here going across, and these ones are going down. So that will mean that these ears will be much more noticeable because the grain direction is going in a different direction to the rest of the neck. I've gone to the effort of cutting these ears out of the same pieces of wood, so I'm going to go to the trouble of lining up the grain like this. So that's how I'm going to glue them on. Truss rods are a good fit. So good I can't get them out. There we go. So I'm literally just taking off the tiniest shavings just to knock off the high spots. And that looks like I've got a pretty good gluing surface there. Same on there. Right, so I've got 4 ears to glue on to 2 necks. Now I don't want to bother with locator pins because that's just, locator pins are just a pain, something like this. So what I'm going to do is glue up one side, leave it for 20 minutes, take the clamp off, glue up the other side and clamp them both together. So I've got 2 glues, Type Bond 1 or original and Type Bond 2. Now I'm going to use Type Bond 2 for this, and the reason for that is I'm using Type Bond 1 for to glue my fretboard on, and also to glue the neck into the body, and I'm going to use Type Bond 2 for the ears and the headstock veneer. So the reason I'm doing that is because Type Bond 2 has a much better resistance to water than Type Bond 1. So what that means is I can unset a neck or a fretboard with Type Bond 1, and the amount of water heat required to unset this is not enough to unset this, because I don't want to run the risk of ever having to remove this fretboard. I mean, I probably won't. Maybe a job for somebody else in, I don't know, 20, 30 years time or something, if the guitar turns out to be any good. But basically I want to be able to remove the fretboard without running the risk of delaminating the veneer on the top or delaminating the ears. And the same principle with a neck joint in a body. If you've got something like a 2-piece body or a carved top or something like that, you don't want to use the same glue for the top or the body joint as the headstock, as the neck joint, sorry, because you don't want the 2-piece body to separate while you're trying to remove the neck. So using this one. Maybe the smarter move. Just making sure that the here is parallel with the top. No, it's not going to move. And to start with, I had the twisty handle part of the clamp on this side, and that was stupid because every time I twisted the handle to apply clamping pressure, I was essentially causing this to rotate, which is a pain. So putting the bottom end on the smaller piece makes more sense. Cool. Twist it the wrong way. That's better. Right, one down. One to go. That's not such a good joint there. That's better. Cool, right. Leave those two to do their thing for 20 minutes. And then stick the other ones on. So that now that these guys have had, I think I've left them for about an hour, I can unclamp this one and stick the other one on. If you rub the two pieces side to side, then it creates a bit of a suction and then they stick to each other a bit better. It just helps to prevent them sliding around quite so much when you start to tighten the clamp up. Don't really want all that glue dripping on my workbench. Cool, right, I'll leave those until tomorrow night, and then I shall plane these down, and then I can think about sticking the veneers on. So it's now the next day. These guys have had best part of 24 hours to cure. So the next thing I need to do is use my little block plane and knock these edges off so that they're level with these, so I've got a nice consistent gluing surface from the ears across the top of the headstock. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll just file these down a bit so that they're levelish with this. I'm going to thickness the back of the headstock on the spindle sander at a later date, so that will tidy up all that and get that nice and level. Overall thickness is going to be about 13mm. So you're going to have 2mm thick veneer, and that'll be stuck to the top. 13mm, so that'll equal 15, which is about right for my tuners. A little bit more. Pretty happy with that. Cool. So one neck down, one to go. So there we go. 2 ears, nicely planed down level with the top there. So I can glue my veneers on, which we shall do that in the next episode. Now if anyone's interested, I was just using this little Draper block plane. This is a cool little plane. I use this for loads of little jobs. And I've also got this little diddy block plane for the hard to reach areas where that one won't get to. And I was just filing down the back. This is a Iwasaki file. These are amazing. They just remove so much material so quickly, and they leave a really nice clean surface. It doesn't require lots of sanding, but it's very sharp, so you have to be careful.